What? 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 Hey, what's up? Kalen here, and welcome to live stream number 48. 48 live streams in a row, live streaming to you live for the 48th time. And I want to welcome you to the program today. If you haven't noticed, we are iterating a little bit on our OBS, which is my video broadcasting software. We are iterating a little bit on that today. I've got two different scenes set up so I can go back and forth between the screen share and the full video. No big deal. No big deal. Just a little bit of iteration there for you because we just want to do the best possible program for the viewers at home. It's really all about you, viewer at home, and so that's about it. All right, so I'm going to jump into the content for today. I'm going to jump on in. Here we go. First up, Table Plus versus SQL Pro. Let me wait for this to load up. Table Plus versus SQL Pro. Tweet from Scott Buchanan, trying out Table Plus today, 5 minutes in. I'm a convert. Sorry, SQL Pro. It's been nice knowing you. I am a SQL Pro user. I have been a SQL Pro user for, I want to say going on 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. So this immediately caught my attention, and I was curious to see what the differences were. So this is just a little, if you're a SQL Pro user, something you might want to take a look at. Actively maintained. So I guess SQL Pro is not actively maintained, it seems, which I wasn't really aware of. I've just been using the same version forever. Has a quick global search. Now, I haven't tried this yet, but that sounds super handy. That sounds like something I'd probably use quite a bit. Allows me to show only columns I want. Also super handy. That's something I use a lot in Airtable for things that I'm doing. And the ability to reorder column. I guess you can reorder columns in SQL Pro, but the ability to hide certain columns is super handy for day-to-day usage. Multiple quick filters applied at a time sounds handy. Safe mode sounds handy. Multi-database sounds handy. So seeing a lot of people in the threads here mentioning that this was interesting to them. So just want to point this out, something you might want to look at to improve your database stack. Okay, next up, moving at a nice brisk pace here in the program. In e-commerce news, Amazon is beginning to roll out Klarna-style installments. Tweet from Philip Jackson, just in time for holiday 2019. So you can see in the screenshot here, there is a purchase box on Amazon, screenshot showing like a 5 monthly payments, $79.80 per month, and then the total price. Interesting to see here. Klarna obviously has been killing it. Klarna, reading their Twitter bio here real quick, a global tech bank on a mission to make payments and shopping as smooth as possible. And so one of the big things they do are the installment payments, amongst other things. But, this type of thing obviously just reduces friction in the purchase process for customers. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. Interesting little known fact, when I very first got in the Magento community, got to be 7, 8, 9 years ago, the very first two product ideas I had, first one was like gated social promos, which meant, and this was something I had been doing previously at my previous job for Facebook promotion type stuff, where if you had to get like 3 friends to like a product page in order to unlock a certain promo. Still kind of a nifty idea, I have to say. And that was the first thing I started working on. I should have a link to it somewhere. And then the second thing, it was either the second thing or this was the first thing and the social promo was the other thing, were installment plan payments. So I'm not going to say I was early to the installment plan game, but I was early to the installment plan game. All right, next up. On the topic of dad life, wait for this page to load up. taking absolutely forever. I am back to streaming at 1080p. I had bumped down to 720 because I ran into some lag issues, and I'm going back for 1080, going hard in the paint. So we want to bring you, the viewer at home, the best possible quality. Okay. In the topic of dad life, this is creditacademy.io. Credit Academy prepaid MasterCard allows kids to pay for purchases with chore money. So this is something I've thought about. You know, we give our kids, a couple bucks here and there for doing certain chores, not their regular chores. They got to do those, but going above and beyond, we give them a few bucks. And then of course we always say, okay, we owe you $2. And then they say, do you have $2 cash? And we say no. And then they have to remind us 18 times over the next 3 months to actually give them the cash. And then they inevitably lose the cash. And I go, you got to take this more seriously. So perfect solution here is an actual credit card, kind of nifty, that they can use in different places. So basically I want to check this out. I basically want to do a topic on this on the stream, just sort of as a reminder to myself to check it out. Join a community. This is a cool aspect of it. Join a community of parents teaching their offspring. Offspring, that's a weird word. Teaching their kids the value of paying for purchases made using a Credit Academy MasterCard. So that's cool, like the community aspect of it. Sounds like maybe there's a forum or something like that, which I think is really neat. I think that's really neat, actually. Cool logo, too, by the way. It's like the graduation cap with a credit card on the top. Great design, by the way. Really, really great looking website, great looking app. Cool iconography. What does this pencil do? Oh, that does a sign up. Interesting. Interesting logo choice there. Okay, all right. That's fine. All sorts of disclaimers, obviously, because anything related to children, you got to have, disclaimers and stuff like that. E-sign, privacy, card holder agreement, USA Patriot Act disclaimer. That's a first. Anyways, super interesting thing there. A lot of innovation in fintech. I saw another post recently on fintech. It was a full-on bank that had been started in under 3 months. I should do a full topic on that because that was interesting. So, okay. Next up in the program. Lighthouse, tweet from Chrome developers, launching Lighthouse CI, Lighthouse Continuous Integration. Lighthouse obviously being the Chrome thing. If I were to right click, which of course would crash my whole system right now because of the video. If I were to right click and do an inspect, within that, Lighthouse is one of the things you can run within Chrome to see performance, accessibility, best practices, SEO, and PWA scores and best practices, and it'll tell you exactly what you got to fix. So you can now run this automatically on every commit, validate changes are good before they go live. You can also monitor your progress over time. Super cool. Pull this up real quick. All right, GitHub. By the way, seriously, no responsiveness on GitHub? Really? It is absolutely wild how many sites are not responsive. Although GitHub makes sense because you're looking at code, which is sort of fundamentally a desktop thing. So I will give GitHub a pass. I will give you a pass here. Although I know GitHub has mobile screens. I see them on my phone. Why don't they show up here? I do not know. So anyway, here's the GitHub thing. Here's the repo. And I guess basically you are pulling this in. You're going to pull this into your continuous integration. It's going to... I wonder how this works behind the scenes. I wonder if it's pinging a service or if the entire Lighthouse code is contained in here. Would be interesting to know. But yeah, definitely something for all of you dev teams to check out. The progress over time is awesome. I think that's a really valuable business facing metric to show people. Obviously, for business users, making it nice and simple for them. Hey, what's this? What are the scores on all your stuff? Seeing that improve over time is something that you could show clients on a monthly basis to show the progress that you're making. I think that'd be a great way to show value as a dev team. Okie dokie. Next up, I've been getting some good feedback on the video replies I've been doing for indie hackers posts, and I'm trying to get more involved in the indie hackers community. So I'm gonna keep doing these because they are a rockin' good time. So post on Indie Hackers, a tool to improve YouTube experience at workplace. What y'all think about this? You control. Screenshot here of the thing. I think this good screenshot. At first I was like, what am I looking at exactly? But this is obviously a Chrome plugin, as we will see. So that's what that is. I've created a tiny Chrome extension to make it easy to listen to music podcasts on YouTube at the workplace while working at home. So first thing, music podcasts, I guess. I don't know. I guess a lot of people listen to music on YouTube. If you pay for the premium, you can listen to just pure music in the background, I think, which is something I'm still considering paying for, but I'm not currently. And so I guess this is more of the freebie option. Also, music, obviously, a lot of people are listening to music on Spotify and things like that. Maybe this is also for people who don't want to pay for that. But that said, so just taking a step back and looking at your market positioning, if somebody doesn't want to pay for, Spotify, which is pretty reasonably priced, to be honest, I mean, or Pandora or whatever, the chance they'll use your free thing is really high. So actually, maybe your best opportunity is to make this totally free, make it ad supported, drive some traffic to something else. Even though $2 is very, very little money, the chance that, I don't know what Spotify costs, but all of these things are extremely low priced. So the chance that someone's going to pay you the $2 when they're not willing to pay the whatever it is for Spotify, $9 or something like that, $10, I think is pretty low, right? Because the value of Spotify is massive. So, but that said, I'm going to continue to give a little more feedback. So the free product, I think, is cool. This is a pain point that I have where I'm trying to listen to something and you got to open up another tab and things like that. So I think that's a really neat little piece of functionality to have. And see if this can load up here. Here's the functionality: play, pause, like, dislike. I got to click read more here. Mute video, watch later's dark theme. Is this the free version? Okay, and then here's the paid version, I think. How does this work? I've never paid for a Chrome extension, so I'm not sure how this works. If it lets you actually just buy them directly through here, that'd be kind of cool. So first piece of feedback on pricing, I actually don't know which are the free features and which are the paid features. I had pulled this up on my phone earlier and it was even harder to tell. I guess you mentioned here some cool additional features and a dark mode. So, but you have dark mode mentioned here in the free version. So really what I want to see is a feature matrix, a pricing matrix in some form. You might be limited on the Google Chrome web store to what types of layouts you can do, but I still don't know what the paid features are, which is what I was hoping to kind of review. The dark theme thing is, I don't know if that's worth paying for, but a lot of people do seem to be really into dark themes, so who knows. So I think that's where I'm a little stuck and not able to give much more feedback on the feature segregation and pricing at this point, but hopefully that might be a little bit helpful. Next up, who is building a productized service? Post on Indie Hackers from Robin. Great to see this new group. I guess this is a group. I guess there's a new group for productized services, which is cool. Big productized service fan here. Love the model. Centrable scalable business. Some examples include W curve, but WP curve was one of the first I remember seeing that just had this wild growth curve, and I had actually forgotten they were acquired by GoDaddy, which is super cool. Design Pickle, I've heard a lot of good things about. What WP Buffs I hadn't heard about. That's cool. I want to check that out. About me, I founded Many Pixels, and I wrote a free book about productized services, which is really cool. And so it sounds like Many Pixels is a productized service. Got to check that out. Actually, let me check that out real quick. Let me pull that up real quick. Unlimited graphic design. So it sounds similar to Design Pickle, from what I recall. That was what I remember Design Pickle being. Anyway, these are cool. So it's interesting. And then the first comment here. Thanks for doing this. I think a lot of indie hackers would do well to start a productized service before starting a SaaS. So, and then this is, I think, part of Rob Walling's sort of stair-step model, where you start with building. He recommends before you build a full-on SaaS, start with building like a plugin to, let's say, WordPress, for example, or Magento or whatever. Build a simple plugin, and then I can't remember productized services in his stair-step approach, but then you work your way up to SaaS. I've built SaaS before, and I don't know why. I've just always been fascinated with productized services. I took a crack at one several years back, which I did okay. I got up to like $10,000 a month recurring revenue. It was doing well. We ended up folding it up. It was just, I think it was the interest level wasn't quite there. But that was kind of fun. And then I'm working on something right now, actually. So this is kind of my video reply to this. I'm working on a productized service. So I'm doing a little bit of a shameless pitch here for the productized service I'm working on, which is called Content Accelerator, which is basically to create post-produced video content, video written and audio content from source video. So let's say you're doing a video podcast or whatever. You have long form video. You want to take that, cut it up into great post-produced clips for social media, for Twitter, for Instagram, nice native video clips, written content for LinkedIn, things like that. So this is something I'm using for myself. It's actually sort of the first, another category of product I've wanted to create for a long time is something where I'm eating my own dog food, where I'm actually a user of the product. And for whatever reason, I haven't really done that until now. This is something I've been building for myself, building out a content team, and then just trying to productize it. So that's been fun to do. And also I'm excited about kind of the no-code workflows I'm building out for the productized service, and having fun with that. And yeah, I'm also just a fan of productized services. So that is, let me pull up this real quick as well. Productized book, just real quickly. I have to say, personally, I am not a big book reader, so I most likely would not be a good target audience for the book, unfortunately. I'm more of a podcast listener, so if this was in audio form or audio book form, that would be really cool. From 0 to 50,000 a month. That's super cool. Now this is taking a bit of a long time to load because my system goes really slow when I'm live streaming, but that's cool that you just put the whole thing on Google Docs. That's wild. That's a really neat model as well. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Productized service for the win. All right. Now I'm going to switch my scenes. I'm going to move my chair, reposition slightly. Get my framing. Apologize for the background stuff here. Seeing how the sausage is made. All right. There we go. Got my framing here for my full screen video. So, let me get this right here. So I was listening to something on a Garyvee podcast, I think yesterday, and he was talking about how your reputation from people who actually know you. He talks about how people have a certain opinion of him from afar when they first are exposed to him and have certain impressions about him. But then really what he cares about, really his North Star, is what the people closest to him, his close family, the 5 to 7 to 10 people that are closest to him in his life, what they actually think about him. And talking about how, there can be people who have a certain reputation in public, but in private, they might be another way, right? And then and the idea of never meet your heroes, right? Where you have somebody that's a hero, you meet them, and then you might come away with a bad taste in your mouth because maybe the way they treat you doesn't rub you the right way or whatever. And I've had that experience myself. I also worry that I might have been on the other end of that experience for other people where they might know me from the podcast or whatever. And I just think about this. I hope that if I meet somebody in person, they would come away with a good impression, or the people that really know me the best, the people that really see all my ups and downs, see the anxiety I struggle with and see my weaknesses and things, but also really see my true heart, that those people would have the highest opinion of me. I think that's just a great goal to, I'm going to take my glasses off here. Great goal to shoot for. So yeah, I just would encourage all of us to, as much as we might care about what our public reputation is, to care more about what are the people closest to us really think about us. Yeah, so that was that. All right, this next one is a sort of a direct pitch. So I want to talk about Content Accelerator. And if you are producing a video, long form video, whether that's a video podcast, whether you're recording yourself on your phone, you're doing recording video and you want to turn that into nicely produced video clips for social media, for Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. That's what Content Accelerator does. We do video clips. We also do written content. And stuff like that. So if you're doing video content, you want help with post-production, that's what we do. It's a productized service. We have great rates, really streamlined process. We kind of have a standard playbook that we apply. And this is something I'm using myself day in and day out. So we're constantly iterating on the types of content. Just yesterday and today, starting to iterate on the way we do video clips, the way we do captions, and adding, it's important to be creative in the different formats that you use. So we're trying out different formats and things like that to sort of pattern interrupt with the different type of content you do, and doing native types of content for each social media platform, which is important. So yeah, and then we have a super transparent pricing model. You're gonna be billed by the minute. So if something takes 7 minutes for someone to do, 22 minutes for something to do, you're gonna see super transparently what all those costs are. So I think it's a pretty cool billing model, and really low minimums to get started. So if you're interested in that, check us out, contentaccelerator.io. Cool. That is all that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic